What value of x satisfies the equation -3 times the quantity 4x minus 5 closed quantity equals 2 times the quantity 1 minus 5x closed quantity? All right, this question is very straightforward. It wants to know which one of these numbers makes this a true statement, the left side equal to the right side. So you literally could just plug in your answer choices. This is not too difficult for any one of you. However, I am going to go through the math first, and then I'll show you the plug-in process and a quick way to do that. So mathematically, I'm looking at I have a binomial getting multiplied by a monomial. So automatically, I would use distribution right here. I want to multiply everything on the inside by what's on the outside. So this would create negative 12x. A -3 times a -5 gives me a positive 15. And then on this side of my equation, I like to color code things, we're going to be multiplying everything by 2. So we have 2 times 1 gives us 2. 2 times -5 gives negative 10x. Okay, so now I just have negative 12x plus 15 equals 2 minus 10x. If we are going to cross this equal sign, we have to do something to make the equation still balanced. An equal sign means that the left side and the right side are balanced right now. So if I move something across, I have to do the same thing to both sides. So I want to combine like terms. If I am combining like terms, I usually like my variables to go to the left side and my constants to go to the right side. It doesn't matter a whole lot. Some people like to move the larger numbers to the right and smaller numbers to the left. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to move my x's to the left side. So I see that I have a negative 10x and a negative 12x. If I move a value from the left side or the right side to the opposite side, I have to use an inverse operation. Guys, think about it. I am adding 10x to both sides of this equation to make sure that it is still equal. Well, a negative 10x and a positive 10x make what's called a zero pair, and they cancel each other out. Negative 12x and positive 10x, part of it cancels out, but we're left with negative 2x. Okay, the rest of the problem is plus 15 equals 2. Now I want to keep balancing my equation. I am going to try to isolate the variable x, so I have to move this 15. Well, how do I undo adding 15? I am going to subtract 15. What you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side of the equation to keep it balanced. This creates another zero pair, and that cancels out. So we are left with negative 2x equals negative 13, because 2 minus 15 gives me negative 13. At no point in this problem so far, you should have picked up a calculator. None of it. You guys should be able to do most of that in your head. Don't be tricked by simple math. All right, the very last step we are going to do is undo the multiplication that's happening right here using division. When we are undoing division, we're trying to make this a 1. And a number over itself always equals 1. So negative 2 over negative 2 creates a 1. What I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. I have x equals a negative divided by a negative creates a positive. So I am left with 13 halves, which is k. All right, that is a lot of math to do for these problems. And some of you might have gotten lost in there or overwhelmed in there. I'm going to show you how to do this same question with a calculator. Now, as the math teacher that I am, I would love for you to do this all beautiful math, but I understand sometimes on a test you get overwhelmed or whatever. So I want you guys to see the comfort that a calculator can bring you. I'm going to use the handheld calculator because I think it's the most straightforward. If you want to use Desmos, please feel free. Might show you how to do it on there too. On our regular good old-fashioned graphing calculator. So we have a left side of a problem and the right side of the problem. The left side says negative 3 times 4, and then it has x. And x is whatever you want it to be. Well, we have 5 answer choices to choose from. So I'm just going to plug in the first one. X is, it says negative 18 over 2. And again, if you're not sure what keystrokes I'm using, down along the bottom, it's showing you what numbers I'm pushing or what what parts of the calculator I'm touching. And then -5. Okay, you cannot type the equal sign here. That's not the goal of this problem in our calculator. We are going to type in the left side, see what it equals, and then the right side and see what it equals. So the right side said 2 times 1 minus 5 times x. And we chose x to be -17/2 because that was our first answer choice. All right. As you see, the left side is the first equation I typed in. The right side is the second equation I typed in. Those answer choices are not equal to each other. We're trying to figure out what x value does make them equal. -17/2 was not the correct x value. So here's a really cool trick I'm going to show you. If you just type up on your graphing calculator, it highlights what you've already typed in. So I can push enter on what I have highlighted, and I'm going to go change this because answer choice, the second one is -17/22. And look, I already have it typed and I just push enter and I have the left side. And again, I'm going to type in the right side with 22. And once again, they do not equal each other. But do you see how fast that was? I didn't have to retype the whole equation again. It's really important that you know how to use your resources when taking these ACTs. All right, so now I have 3 more answer choices to try. If you look at your answer choices, H, J, and K, J and K are both fractions, so I'm actually going to do those because I already have my question set up in fraction form. So if I push enter and go change -17/22 into 3/17, I can delete the spaces I don't need and then change it to 3/17 really quickly. Okay, so that was the left side of our equation. Now we got to go look at the right side of our equation. Changed. Again, we need to delete 2 of those positions to 3/17. And they do not match each other. So one last time, I'm going to go up and highlight the left side of the equation, change it to 13/2. So 13/2. I need to delete one of those positions. And then I'm going to go to the right equation, the right side of the equation, and type in, again, 13/2. And I'm left with the exact same number. I see that the left side equals -63. The right side equals -63. So I know 13/2 is the correct x value. You don't even have to try the 5th answer choice, -1, because we've already found the correct answer. So on the ACT, just move on. On Desmos, it's going to look a little bit differently than that. So I'm going to show you that real quick. If we go to Desmos, you can type in, again, -3 4 times x. And to make a fraction on Desmos, use the backslash or the question mark button, and it types in a fraction bar for you. And you can type in -17/2 pretty quickly, -5. And that's going to be the left side of our equation. And then we type in the right side of our equation, 2 times 1 minus 5x. But again, we have a fraction, -17/2. And some of you will like Desmos better because a lot of students think it's faster. And the way to copy and paste on Desmos is just to go highlight it, and you can copy and paste it and change those numbers. So that's all I wanted to show you how Desmos works, but hopefully you like one of those ways. Maybe some of you math nerds actually like working out the problem like Miss Johnson. All right, so the correct answer is 13/2.